Now, as you'll see, well, if you don't know, but if you're a fan of Ricky Burns, you should know he's a pretty seasoned fighter at this point in time in his career, with 41 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, 14 KOs. Now, the thing is, he's fighting this fighter who I've only seen fight twice, and for the most part, he's fought names that nobody knows. So you really don't know who he is. But he got a very big win over an up-and-coming 140 pounder by the name of Eduard. I forgot how to pronounce his name, and I used to know how to do it. Let me try to sound it out. Troyanovsky. And I watched that fight live because this was the belt that Lamont Peterson had lost when he lost to Danny Garcia, even though the belt was in a weird situation. So now you have Ricky Burns, who is in a unification for his IBF title. No, excuse me, his WBA title. The only WBA champion at 140. And Indongo's IBF title. So the crazy thing is, you have Terrence Crawford, who's fighting Felix Diaz for the WBC and the WBO, because he's a WBC, WBO, and Ring Magazine 140-pound champion. Terrence Crawford defeated Ricky Burns at 135 pounds, easily in Scotland. He took his belt, WBO belt. So now, you have the winner of these 2 fights. One's on May the 20th. Is it May the 20th or the 27th? I think it's May the 20th. Crawford versus Diaz for that WBC, that ring, and the WBO. In a very big fight to hardcore fans. And Ricky Burns versus Indongo this weekend, the 15th. In a fight where a lot of Ricky Burns supporters know, well, I don't know. These are the kind of guys that Ricky Burns loses to. So, if I'm in his team, I don't want to hear none of that shit about, how fighters just say, ask a fighter, at an interview. You'll say, well, have you watched any footage or any tapes on the guy? And they say, nah, I just do what my team tell me, I'm sure they're going to take care of that. You need to be watching tapes on this guy. I would be over there, where he's from, getting footage. I'd be like, listen, can y'all send me anything? Somebody in there's recording with something. We want to know who this guy is. Ricky Burns' last defeat was to who? If I'm correct, Diaz Zakotikanen? No, Omar Figueroa at PBC. That was a good fight, though. That was in 2015. So since he's been with Eddie Hearn, he's won 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, Eddie Hearn even got him into, I don't know how he got his hands on that 140-pound title, because of basically Adrian Broner. So not only is he a multi-divisional champion, he's now fighting in a unification, and he was in some debt after leaving Frank Warren. Eddie Hearn pretty much saved this guy's career, and Ricky Burns seemed like a good guy. I like watching his fights. But this Indongo, we don't know who he is. He lost to Omar Figueroa, Diaz Zakotikanen. Of course, Terrence Crawford had that draw with Ray Beltran in the fight he should have lost. Had his jaw broken. Big wins include, at that point in time, Kevin Mitchell was a big win. Michael Katsides. I don't know how you would declare that win at that time. I don't remember. That was in 2011. Roman Rocky Martinez. Gotta count that. And that was a title fight. He's got some names on his record, but when it comes to his big fights, he's lost. And when it comes to, a mystery opponent like Julius Indongo, I don't know, man. But we'll have to see. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do another video on this fight before the fight. Not on that day, but probably, for the weigh-in or whatever. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to go watch some more Julius Indongo shit. I'm going to go on a hunt for some footage. And probably put it on my Instagram. We're going to find out who this guy is. Now, like I said, I've seen him fight twice. I watched his last fight on the stream live. You know, and it was like, I don't even know how I got a chance to watch it. I just wish, man, like we just had like one network throughout the world that just shows all fights everywhere. Like I'm talking about like all championship or contender fights, like all everywhere. But I know that's in a perfect world, and this world is so cold. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Of course, I'm going to be covering this fight. Please subscribe.